Hi, this is Robert Gadd from OnPoint Digital, and I'm here to present our entry, Leveraging Analytics to Measure and Improve Organizational Performance, as part of the Learning Design Challenge at the Online Learning Conference 2016 Chicago. This entry is submitted by OnPoint Digital in conjunction with our customer Quality Assist in support of their Quorum platform. Quality Assist has been around for 30 plus years. They're a social enterprise designing and developing professional training programs for people focused on the early education market. They are dedicated to providing resources and resourcefulness to adults who have a significant influence on the lives and well-being of young children. And they train tens of thousands of people every year through a combination of instructor-led training programs as well as their online Quorum product. The Quorum Online Learning Portal was originally introduced in 2011 as a membership program for low-cost, high-quality professional development to learners via traditional online learning methods. The portal offers a wide variety of approved certification programs that have been vetted and improved many times over the years. In an effort to make the system even more interesting and engaging, the team at Quality Assist decided to go with a Quorum 2.0 platform. They were looking for more customized and responsive interfaces, support for an increasingly mobile audience with improved e-commerce functionality, and the ability to manage their certification process and publication of those certificates in an easier way. They also started to look at big data, things that were possible with better tools and APIs, as well as a way to leverage the advanced capabilities of the Experience API, which is becoming popular today. Ultimately, our team at OnPoint was deemed the best fit for those next generation needs, and we helped them proceed forward to build what you're going to see today. Looking back, their traditional portal seemed dated and not as engaging for the audiences they were hoping for, so they moved forward to building something that looks more like this, very simple, clean interface that not only functions well in the online world, but also provides support for people on mobile devices. Here's a couple of examples of what the content looks like side by side online and mobile. And you can see how the content itself actually works well across the different delivery mechanisms. But what about analytics? The analytics capabilities are wide and varied. Full integration of XAPI plus support for the emerging CMI 5 standards are all part of a very modern but traditional LMS platform, essentially mixing the old and the new into one platform. This provides the ability to measure and track any combination of formal or informal learning activities without waiting for a vendor to do something or overthinking someone's approach. Basically, a simple and innovative way to introduce XAPI and analytics into an environment without a large investment in the time or tools or training that you'd think. Ultimately, the result here is enabling new behaviors and accelerating outcomes for an organization. So let's check out what this looks like on the back end. So first, let's look at the user experience of the new portal. I'm going to log in, and you can see the portal paints. This is built responsively to work on handsets and tablets, but I'm in a browser at the moment. Nice hero space to move through. I've got 6 days left on my current curriculum. You can see the various programs that someone's involved in and my ability to go and launch the content itself. But let's look at a couple of interesting pieces of analytics that are stuck in all of this. Here's one of the places where XAPI and analytics can make a difference inside a course. So using Lectora, we're able to define certain variables as part of the course and immediately go and send that information to the LRS and retrieve the results dynamically back and show it to the user on the screen. Not only does this make it more interesting for the user as they move through it, they now have a record of all of these behaviors and preferences from their user populations. At the end of a course, we can also generate things like certificates, which saves time for the Quorum team who used to have to generate these on a weekly basis and send them out. This is now all assembled dynamically from information that is in the Learning Record Store for each of the different types of criteria. This information can vary by state, by program, different signatures, everything, all dynamically created from the system itself. They can also generate action plans, which if I had a real user account would actually show me this here. This is all being pulled from the LRS as well, giving me a record of the things that I said that I would do in support of the program that I was in. Interface-based analytics are also used to measure every action taken by a user in the interface itself. We know every button push by every person. We know the path that they take through all of the systems, so we can do A/B testing to try and make a determination of who's doing what and how. Next, let's look at what managers can do within the system. If I'm a manager or supervisor, I can see how all of my people are performing in my organization, be able to look for and find specific people who work for me, and drill into their records to find out the progress that they've made on any of the things that they've done and the time that they spend. Obviously more related to what a regular LMS could do. Access to a variety of reports that will report who's done what and when, and the ability to schedule those reports. But here's the really cool stuff that we can do with XAPI. It gives us the ability to dig deep into all of the information collected in the LRS. Here, just some normal ones: top courses being used, top tests being taken, statement activities, verb lists, etc. But these are all very dynamic. So if I want to move things around on the screen, I can do that. And then I can drill into any of these and actually get the detail about all of the things said or done, or the formal or informal things completed by my team over any particular period of time. In addition to that, I can build custom panels on the fly. Let's say I care about all of my people taking this particular course at any particular time, or a specific time period. I can build a custom panel which has now made that item right here, and this will dynamically be updated every time somebody from my world is doing something. When we dig into a particular course, we can look at averages in terms of scores. We can determine every answer given to every test question or poll or survey, and all of the people that answered it in those particular ways. These are the 11 people that answered that particular question that particular way. And if I want to look into Jessica's information, here's everything that Jessica answered in that particular context. There are additional capabilities at the user level themselves. I can actually go in and find all of the statements related to any particular user that works for me, so I can actually see who's doing what and where they're going. We're in the process now of making this information look a little bit better on the screen, but we now have a very detailed look at everything that everybody's doing. But it's not just about the courseware that somebody might consume, because the LMS itself is XAPI enabled. I'll show you how I can create statements on virtually anything that anybody does in the system itself. So here we are in the OnPoint's Course Manager application, where it's a traditional LMS where we're managing all of the events and actions of a training system. So we can take XAPI-enabled courseware and add it to the system, but we can also do things like activities, essentially informal things that we're tracking, as well as instructor-led events that we're tracking, which would normally not be XAPI-related. But let's say I have a video or an EPUB or a podcast and I want to have somebody listen to. We built triggers into the system that would allow us, based upon, say, someone completed a particular event, that I can add a notification that sends a statement to the LRS automatically whenever that action happens. So this gives me the ability to create statements out of virtually anything, any action that's tracked by the system itself, whether they have taken a test or they've read an article or they've recommended something. So virtually any action can do something that's going to generate a statement, and all of that information will flow to the LRS, which manifest themselves as activity streams for the reporting and analysis. The LRS also allows us to combine statement activities generated by other external systems, say sales performance data or customer satisfaction scores or information, also in the form of activity statements which drop into the LRS based upon the user and then give me an aggregate picture of what that person is doing in each of those areas. So how did it all work out? The results were actually fantastic. Overall, the number of certifications increased by 40% year over year from the previous platform, while support requests were decreased by 50%. And learner satisfaction with the platform increased dramatically, given the more interesting interfaces as well as the ability to do things in mobile. Plus, the system provides a very detailed analysis of virtually everything that's happening in the platform, from content usage to access patterns, etc. We hope our effort here was able to demonstrate how each of the boxes here got ticked in this category. And thanks for viewing our entry.